Now it's time for the Sport Report. We cover all of the news and the results from the night before in the sports world. Become an expert on sports in under 15 minutes. Today, Chandler with Sports covers the MLB games from yesterday.
Hey TJ, what's going on? I'm Chandler.
Hey TJ, what's going on? I'm Chandler and this is Tiger Beat Sports.
And I'm Chandler, and this is Tiger Beat Sports.
Welcome to a special edition of this all-crazy sports newscast.
Hey everybody, I'm Chandler with Sports, and this is the Sport Report.
Chandler with Sports is how he wants to go. With is his middle name, Sports his last name.
I want to get you out the door with every result from every league in under 15 minutes so that you're more informed about what's going on in the world of sports. With that in mind, here we go. Hit it, Blaze.
This is the Sport Report.
Thursday, August 22nd, 2019. Hey everybody, I'm Chandler with Sports, and this is the Sport Report. Before we jump into the results from yesterday, let's catch up on the top story of the night. This is top of the order.
Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the missed field goal back. He ran it back 109 yards. They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow! Auburn wins. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl.
I don't believe what I just saw.
This is top of the order.
Our top story comes from Houston, where the worst team in baseball ended up pulling off one of the biggest upsets in the last 15 years. The Detroit Tigers entered the day as the worst team in baseball from a statistical standpoint. The Astros, one of the better teams. Well, the Astros were at home and they had their ace and one of the MLB's best pitchers on the mound in Justin Verlander. Verlander used to pitch for the Tigers back in the early days of his career. Then he was sent to Houston to help build a World Series powerhouse, and he's done a good job there. Well, last night he pitched a complete game against his old club, but his old club ended up getting the best of him. Detroit Tigers 2, Houston Astros 1. The Tigers closed as plus 435 in the sports books, which translates to if you're going to bet $1 on the Tigers, you're going to get $4.35 in profit on the Tigers. That's a pretty big return for one singular game, but the majority of the people put their money on the Astros, who were minus 550 at some books, meaning you had to put $5.50 on a team just to win $1. So if you picked the Astros last night, you lost $5.50. If you picked the Tigers, you ended up winning $5.35 in total. But that's not the most surprising thing in this game. The Tigers only had 2 hits in this game against Verlander. Ronnie Rodriguez hit his 9th homer of the season in the top half of the 5th to open the scoring, and then John Hicks hit his 9th homer of the season off Verlander in the top half of the 9th. In the bottom half of the 9th, Robinson Chirinos was up to bat. He homered for the Astros in the bottom half of the 7th to tie the game at the time, and then he was a triple short of the cycle. Well, with 2 outs and a 2-1 count, he sent one over the right fielder's head, and Gordon Beckham went to retrieve the ball in right field. He threw a rocket to third base, and he got Chirinos out, who was running for the triple and the cycle. So the game ends on an outfield assist from right field to third base. Count that as 9-6 if you're scoring at home. And the Astros lose at home to the Detroit Tigers. Before we cover the rest of Major League Baseball, it was rivalry week in Major League Soccer, but only 3 games were on the calendar. New York City FC 1, Columbus Crew 0. Valentin Castellanos scored in the 36th minute for NYCFC. DC United 1, New York Red Bulls 2. New York Red Bulls opened the scoring through Alejandro Romero in the 6th minute. Wayne Rooney was given a straight red card in the 24th minute. DC United played with 10 the rest of the way. New York Red Bulls were down to 10 men as well at halftime after Amro Tarek received his 2nd yellow card in 8 minutes. Ola Kamara leveled the score for DC United in the 55th, but 4 minutes later, Daniel Royer's penalty wins the game for the New York Red Bulls. LAFC 4, San Jose Earthquakes 0. Carlos Vela scored 2 goals in this match to help LAFC win all 3 points. That covers Major League Soccer. Now let's head to Major League Baseball.
High fly ball into right field. She is gone.
And Carlton Fisk had a lot of little boy in him right there.
Little roller up along first. Behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight and the Mets win it.
Touch 'em all, Joe.
Home run! Mike Piazza! Jeter backhands from the outfield grass. Got it! Man, what a play!
Now from Major League Baseball.
The MLB lineup from yesterday includes 15 games.
We'll pick up at Fenway Park, Philadelphia Phillies 5, Boston Red Sox 2. Rick Porcello's 11-10 on the season for the Red Sox. Bryce Harper hit a 2-run home run in the top half of the 5th to give the Phillies the lead in the 3-run top half of the 5th for Philadelphia. Colorado Rockies 7, Arizona Diamondbacks 2. Tim Melville was called up from AAA Albuquerque in place of John Gray, who fractured his foot and is out for the season. The Rockies' best pitcher has been shut down in order to let his injury heal with as much time as possible. Mike Leake falls to 9-10 on the season for the Diamondbacks. Melville had 2 RBI in this game for the Colorado Rockies. He also struck out 4 batters over 7 innings. Washington Nationals 11, Pittsburgh Pirates 1. Patrick Corbin is 10-5 with a 3.17 ERA for the Nats. Joe Musgrove falls to 8-12 for the Pirates. The Nationals scored the first 6 runs of this game in the top half of the third, 3 more in the 8th, and 2 more in the 9th before Pittsburgh got their lone run in the home half of the 9th. Cincinnati Reds 4, San Diego Padres 2. Luis Castillo is 12-5 with a 3.04 ERA for the Reds. Raisel Iglesias gets his 26th save of the season for Cincinnati. Tampa Bay Rays 7, Seattle Mariners 6. Emilio Pagan is 3-2 with a 2.35 ERA for the Rays. They walked off in the bottom half of the 9th. After Seattle had taken a 6-5 lead in the top half of the 9th, the Rays decided to put the rally caps on. Kevin Kiermaier tied the game with his 13th homer of the season in the bottom half of the 9th, and then they won it on a wild pitch to score Willy Adames. Chicago White Sox 4, Minnesota Twins 0. The Twins only had 3 hits in this game. Lucas Giolito improves to 14-6 with a 3.2 ERA for the White Sox. Jake Odorizzi falls to 13-6 with a 3.57 ERA. Giolito pitched a complete game shutout with 12 strikeouts in this game. Baltimore Orioles 8, Kansas City Royals 1. The O's had 4 homers in this game at Camden Yards. They scored 3 in the bottom half of the 2nd, 2 in the bottom half of the 5th, and 3 more in the bottom half of the 6th to win by a touchdown. Texas Rangers 8, LA Angels 7. Trevor Cahill falls to 3-8 on the season for the Angels, as the Rangers came from behind, and we mean 7-4 behind, in the bottom half of the 7th. They scored 2 in the bottom half of the 7th, 1 in the 8th, and 1 in the 9th to win the game on a walk-off hit by Hunter Pence. New York Mets 4, Cleveland Indians 3. This one took 10 innings. Cleveland scored in the top half of the 10th, but the Mets had the bases loaded in the bottom half of the 10th. Michael Conforto grounded into a force out to score Ahmed Rosario to tie the game at 3 in the bottom half of the 10th. Then J.D. Davis singled to left field to score Conforto. Huh, you ask? That's right. Conforto was on base. It was Pete Alonso who was out at second. Conforto ended up advancing to first base. Atlanta Braves 5, Miami Marlins 0. What if I told you that the Braves won the game by scoring more runs than they had actual hits? Julio Teheran is now 8-8 on the season with a 3.53 ERA for Atlanta, as the Braves offense could only muster 3 hits on the afternoon while scoring 5 runs. This was a range-shortened game in 8 innings. Milwaukee Brewers 5, St. Louis Cardinals 3. Adam Hauser 6-5 with a 3.62 ERA on the season for Milwaukee. Adam Wainwright falls to 9-9 for St. Louis. Oakland Athletics 6, New York Yankees 4. Mike Fiers is 12-3 with a 3.46 ERA for the A's. J.A. Happ is 10-8 with the loss for the Yankees. Liam Hendriks gets his 15th save of the season, as he came in and got the 5-out save, including having runners on the corners in the top half of the 8th by striking out Aaron Judge. 2 more games on the calendar. This one took 10 innings. LA Dodgers 2, Toronto Blue Jays 1. Pedro Baez is now 7-2 on the season for the Dodgers, as Max Muncy hits his 33rd homer of the season in the bottom half of the 10th por los Doyers. It's the 11th walk-off win of the season for the Dodgers. That leads the majors. Final game of the night, Chicago Cubs 12, San Francisco Giants 11. Chris Bryant hit his 26th homer of the season in the bottom half of the 8th inning to give the Cubs the lead and the eventual victory. Brandon Kinsler is now 3-2 with a 2.45 ERA on the season for the Cubbies. This game went back and forth and back and forth. It was 6-2 at the end of the 3rd inning for the Cubbies. San Francisco added 2 in the top half of the 5th, then 5 in the top half of the 6th. Chicago responded with 3 of their own in the home half of the 6th. Giants led 11-10 after 7 and ended up falling 12-11 as Craig Kimbrell gets his 11th save of the season for the Cubbies. That's the Sport Report for Thursday, August 22nd, 2019.
My I'm Chandler.
Thanks for tuning into the Sport Report today. We'll be back tomorrow with the latest in sports. In the words of Joe Buck, who is a commentator for Fox Sports,
we will see you tomorrow night.
So let it be written, so let it be done. See you next time on The Sport Report.
Do you want to contact Chandler with sports, have thoughts on sports, or questions about advertising on The Sport Report? Find us on Twitter or Instagram at SportReportCWS for either social media site.
This podcast is copyrighted by The Sport Report for viewers to understand sports from a news reporting basis. Any other use of this podcast, Sport Report logos, or anything associated with this podcast without the express written consent of Chandler with Sports is strictly prohibited.